Now, this story is called One Year King. A long time ago, long time ago, there was a person who was very rich and very generous. I forgot. My eyeglasses, magic eyeglasses. Wow, aren't we lucky nowadays that we even have eyeglasses to read, yeah?
Yes.
In the ancient times, in my age, maybe I could read no more. My grandma, when she was my age, I always had to read stories for her, books for her that she liked, yeah? She could not read. She didn't have the glasses. A long time ago, there was a person who was very rich and very generous. He had a slave who was very loyal to him. And in return, this rich man was also very loving and kind to him. So kind, so loving to him to the extent that he was thinking, calculating that, why don't I make him a different slave than any other slave so that his life will never be in need anymore from today. No more hardship anymore from today. He thought, and then he did. He returned freedom to him. And then he also gave him many goods to sell in the other country. Yeah. And then he even rented a big ship for him so that he can go to the foreign land to sell all this merchandise that he has gifted to him. Wow. What a nice owner, huh?
Yes.
Nice owner. The best is that we don't have slaves anymore. Yeah, but at least this guy is very nice, huh?
Yes, Master.
And then he even said, best wishes to you, all peace and good and love, and God will be with you. Wow. Good wish, huh?
Yes, Master.
And then the slave bowed and prostrated in front of his old owner, and then went on to the ship to go away. While he was still on the ship, suddenly from the north, a big wind built up into a storm, and then it blew the ship, of course, and then into the shore, where then a lot of sharp stones. And then, of course, the ship became broken into 1,000 pieces. All the sailors are dead, drowned and died. Only him, the slave, was still alive. By the grace of God, he grabs onto a piece of wood. And then this wood has been, I would say, the wave. Oh my God, how can I even forget English now? The wave pushed that piece of wood onto a wide island. All the goods, all the merchandise drowned together with all the other people into the depths of the sea. And then he alone just lay there all by himself on top of the sand shore, many days, many nights, until his bruised and almost broken body slowly regained consciousness. After he became strong again, he saw himself in a dire, hopeless situation, trying hard to survive. He began walking, and then suddenly he saw a path, a worn path, meaning somebody has been walking on it. So he was so happy. He saw some human footprints. Wow, wouldn't you be happy?
Yes, definitely.
In such a desperate situation, he even saw human footprints. Okay, so he followed these footprints one day and one night. And then suddenly he saw a citadel a little far away. When he almost got there, he was very surprised to see all the people from that city run out to welcome him. And all the leaders, all the governors and mayors of all the cities keep calling everybody to come. Hear you. Look here. Please look. Our king has arrived. God has sent us a king.
Oh, wow.
So everybody was so happy and kneel down and clap hands in the air or whatever, keep saying, "Long live the king! Long live the king! Long live the king!" Wow. And then this slave was carried all the way to a very, very glorious palace.
Oh.
Have you read this story?
No,
So you don't sound surprised to me. Even I'm surprised, even though I read it already. I forgot, now I'm surprised. Truly, I don't remember anything. I read it before, 2 years ago, when the pandemic began or something. When I first began the retreat, I had some time to read because I had nothing else. No television, nothing at that time. In retreat, I am not supposed to watch TV or anything. Even at that time, I didn't even have the news, nothing. So I read the books. I prepared. I thought one day I'll come out and read to everyone. And then I forgot already what it is like. Surprise. And then they clean him up and then put the shining purple clothes on him, dress him with purple clothes, a royal robe, and then put a crown on top of his head, and then put him on a gold throne. Yeah. He was perplexed. Yeah. As he sat down. He just sat down and was still perplexed. He saw many of the mayors of the cities and the chief of those tribes and many other people who all came to him one by one and swore loyalty to him. Just like servants are loyal to their owner.
Wow.
Seeing all this glorious honor for him, the new king used his hand to rub his eyes to see whether or not he's looking correctly. And then he was thinking to himself, I think I'm sleeping. I think I'm dreaming. It's only a dream. It's only a dream. But day after day, he's still the king of that land. You know, and many rituals and many courtesy and all kinds of arrangements for kings still continue.
Oh.
So he knew that he is a king, really. Yeah. But he's still questioning himself. What have I done that I would merit this kind of position? This must be some kind of trial, testing. That's what he was thinking. But the king, well, he's a king. He called his prime minister to come and ask him, would you please tell me, what is it about me that you and many leaders and all your citizens here make me a king? And then how long will I be able to reign this way? The prime minister told him, Your Majesty, I also don't think there is any trouble if I should tell you all the truth. Because the God that takes care of this land has always prayed very hard to ask God to grant us every year one new king. So God has listened to our prayers. Thus every year, every 12 months, has sent us one like you. Whenever that person arrives, all of us, from officials to the normal citizens, we will run out and welcome him, as you have witnessed. And then this person would be treated with all kinds of royalty, and then make him king. That's simple. But this king will be able to reign only 1 year. After 1 year, he will be driven out of the royal palace.
Oh.
All his royal clothes will be stripped from him. And then he will be given rags to wear,
Oh.
and then given to the army.
Oh.
And then the soldiers will bring him to the shore of the sea, put him on a boat, and take him to a wild island
Oh.
to be exiled there. And then it continues like that. So yesterday he was a king, but today he will never find any friend. Even the lowest level in our country, like servants and all that, no one will be with him
Oh.
in this hour of need. I should have talked to you a few days ago when I was having inspiration to do so, but it was too busy, you know. I was too busy, too much work to do. Today I saw not a lot of work, so I immediately called you before it's too late again. Yeah. And maybe today is my low day. Too much work those days, or today, even if I want to try, it's different timing already, yeah?
Yes,
Already too much physical and mental power has been spent. It's good that I still have a good mood at least. I'm not beginning to yell at you or anything. You count it as lucky. Wow. Yesterday he was a glorious, dignified king, and today he became a beggar and exiled to an island, a wild island, you know, uninhabited island. Then he has fallen into terrible suffering and dire need situation. No one even care about him. And the same people and citizens 1 year ago had welcomed him and put him onto the golden throne. And now they are too busy running out to welcome another one and to make another one their king, the one that God has sent to them every year. Your Majesty, this is the custom of our country. We don't remember since when it has begun, but we know for sure that it cannot be changed. After hearing thus, the king said to his prime minister, hearing you and your attitude, I feel like you are a very loving, caring person. So, taking this opportunity, I ask you, where are those kings before me? Please tell me whether or not those kings before me, when they were still on the king's throne, did they ever know the final situation of their life or not? So the prime minister said, everyone knew, all of them knew, but because they were so satisfied, so contented with their present situation, the glory, the comfort, make them blind about their future situation. So nobody ever thought of anything about their final days. Oh, the king became quiet, thought of pensive, and then he is completely awakened. So he said to his prime minister, okay, in that case, I cannot waste precious time. When I am still able to do something for myself, for my future, I have to do all my best, no? So the king continued talking, saying to his prime minister, because you have told me everything in truthfulness, so I can rely on you. and ask you, what should I do in order to save myself from that terrible fate awaiting me in the future? So the Prime Minister said to him, Your Majesty, you should remember well that you came here with 2 empty hands, and then you will have to go with 2 hands empty, and you can never come back. But there is one thing you could do in order to avoid that situation. Now, if you want to listen to my advice, you should dispatch your trusted people. They should go to the wild island, the remote island where they are going to bring you, and tell them to build, many storages with a lot of food and whatever things that you think you will need. Build also the house. Please remember that you will not find anything else except whatever you have arranged beforehand for yourself on that remote island. Oh, the king immediately agreed to that advice. And then he dispatched his trusted people to go to the remote island. And over there, they build houses with interior decoration. They planted vegetables and trees, fruit trees and all that. And then after they transformed that wide, remote area into a very nice, good residential place with all kinds of food and necessities. And fruit tree as well, yes, of course. So when it's almost time for the king to leave his kingdom, the king said to his prime minister, Oh, I am so longing, desiring for my king days to end, so that I can go to the exiled area of the wild island that I have built for myself. Nice, eh?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Yes. Remind me to tell you how I feel.
Okay,
Remind me
Master.
when I'm finished, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
And then at the end, finally, 1 year has gone by. So he has been kicked out of his throne, of his royal palace, stripped off all of the royal clothing, and been given worn-out rags to wear, and then forced onto a boat to go toward the wild, remote island. But the king was very happy. Yeah, even though he's not on the gold throne anymore, but he was a slave as well as a king. Yeah, he went there with a very contented attitude and happy days for him. He lived there happily ever after. Or alone even, yes. This story has been told by the great Rabbi Nachman in Horodenka. Horodenka is a city in Ivano-Frankivsk Oblast in the western Ukraine. This story originally came from a book that has been published in Poland, Warsaw, in the beginning of the 20th century. There are many other similar stories in the Jewish and non-Jewish community.
Yes.
Yes, Master.
End of story.
Thank you.
Now you know what it means, the story. It's a parable, right?
Yes.
Yes, Master.
Just like we are from heaven, and then we came enslaving into this world 8, 10, 12 hours a day just for a few bunches of dollars, okay?
Yes, Master.
Then we are not even preparing for the day when we should leave this world.
Yes, Master.
So this is a story that reminds us that there is not just this world that exists. We will leave it. No matter how rich we are, we will leave. Because we've been toiling all our lifetime just to earn our comfort living or richness. But then we will have to leave it with nothing and alone.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
and don't even know what fate awaits us. So this story is so simple, but I thought it's okay. I just happened to open, and it's right in front of my eyes, so I read it. Because if I keep looking again, and just like the other book, Fightings, I forgot already what is what. Like that. So the practitioners of Kuan method, they prepared for their future. More lucky than the king. They could even see where they will be. Well, some of them. Not all of our group members can see where they will be beforehand, but some can. All right?
Yes, Master.
So how do we prepare for the day we live our luxury or comfort life? We have to prepare, like virtues, morals, practicing the connection with heaven. Then we will go there and we will have everything. Actually, it's not for the highest kingdom, not for the highest heaven, but still you need to prepare.
Yes,
Yes,
Master.
Master.
And just because you think you're small, and doesn't mean you're just small at all this tiny one. La 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 la. To someone else you are big.